He had never bought a storage unit before. He didn't even plan to. He just went to the auction out of boredom, a cheap weekend distraction. But when he opened the rusty metal door of the unit he accidentally won, he found a single object sitting in the darkness. A black suitcase, heavy, locked, covered in dust, and taped to the top was a faded note with 2 words, "Do not open." When he finally broke the lock and looked inside, his entire world changed, but not in the way he expected, because the suitcase contained $150,000 in cash and something far more dangerous. Intro: who he was. His name was Ryan Mercer, 28 years old, delivery driver, struggling with bills, and living paycheck to paycheck. He wasn't unlucky, just stuck in a job he didn't like, stuck in a small apartment, stuck in a life that never seemed to move forward. One Saturday morning, his coworker told him, "Bro, you ever been to a storage auction? People leave crazy stuff behind." Ryan shrugged. "I have $20 to my name. You don't need money to watch." So Ryan went. That decision was the first step toward a story he could have never imagined. Chapter 1: The Auction. The storage lot was old, sunburnt, and covered in dust. About 20 people gathered, most of them professional resellers, looking for valuables to flip. Ryan stood at the back, hands in pockets, just watching. The auctioneer shouted, "Next unit abandoned for 9 years. Owner deceased. No heirs. Everything goes." When they lifted the metal door, a musty smell spilled out. Inside was junk, broken lamps, old blankets, 2 boxes of VHS tapes, a mattress leaning against the wall. Everyone groaned. "No value here," one guy muttered. The bidding started anyway. $50, $60, $65, then silence. No one wanted it. The auctioneer sighed. "Anyone else? Going once? Going twice?" Ryan felt a weird impulse. Before he could think, he blurted, "70. Everyone turned around. Ryan felt heat rush to his face. The auctioneer slammed his hand down. "Sold for $70. Ryan's stomach twisted. He had just spent money he didn't have on a pile of garbage. At least that's what he thought. He started clearing the unit, tossing broken junk into a dumpster. Nothing seemed valuable. Then, behind the mattress, he noticed something, a black suitcase, pushed tightly against the corner. He dragged it out. The suitcase was unusually heavy, much heavier than clothes or books. The lock was rusted. The handle cracked. Dust covered the entire surface. But what caught his attention was the old piece of duct tape on top. On it, written in faded red marker, "Do not open." Ryan frowned. Was it a warning? A joke? Something dark? His heart picked up speed. "No way. This feels like a movie," he whispered. He shook the suitcase gently. Something shifted inside. Thick, solid, not clothing. He pulled out a screwdriver and broke the lock. It snapped instantly. His breathing grew shallow. He lifted the lid, and the world stopped. Chapter 3: The Money. Bundles of cash. Neat stacks, wrapped in old banking bands. From 1998, 2001, 2003, tens, 20s, 50s, hundreds. Ryan touched one bundle and felt the thickness. Not hundreds, thousands. He lifted a stack. His hands shook so badly he dropped it. He emptied the suitcase onto the floor. Bundles spilled everywhere. It didn't feel real. He counted the labels. $10,000, $5,000, $2,000, $10,000, $20,000. When he finished, he whispered, $150,000. There's $150,000 here. He sat on the cold concrete floor, heart racing. This was more money than he ever imagined holding. He could pay off his debts, buy a car, move to a better place, start fresh. But then, his eyes fell on something else. A small envelope, tucked beneath the cash. He opened it. Inside was a handwritten note, the same handwriting as the tape on the suitcase. It read, "If you found this money, you need to leave it alone. Please, do not take it. It belongs to someone dangerous." Ryan felt the blood drain from his face. His hands went cold. He read the note again and again. Each time, the words felt heavier. Someone dangerous. Someone who owned this money. Someone who might come looking. He looked at the stacks of cash, at the abandoned storage unit, at the rusted lock that had been untouched for years. And for the first time, he felt afraid, really afraid, because the money wasn't just lost. It was hidden, and now he had found it. Ryan sat alone in the storage unit, staring at the money, the suitcase, and the warning note, $150,000. Life-changing money, but the words on the paper echoed inside his head. It belongs to someone dangerous. He suddenly felt watched, even though no one was around. He packed everything back into the suitcase, closed the lid, and carried it to his car. His heart pounded the whole drive home. At home, Ryan placed the suitcase in the middle of his living room. He sat in front of it for nearly an hour. He needed to know more. Who owned the unit? Why were the payments stopped? Who wrote the note? He grabbed his laptop and searched the last known tenant, Arthur Art Lamont. Age, 63. Status, deceased. Cause of death, heart failure. Occupation, unknown. There wasn't much information until he found a local newspaper article from 2009. The headline made his breath catch. Local man questioned in disappearance of $250,000 after casino robbery. Ryan's pulse spiked. He clicked the article. It stated, the casino cash transport was robbed. The two suspects escaped with $250,000. One suspect disappeared. The second, Arthur Lamont, was questioned. He claimed he never received the money. Charges were dropped due to lack of evidence. The cash was never recovered. Ryan leaned back. The suitcase had $150,000 inside. Not $250,000, but what if Art hid part of it? What if this was the missing money? What if the other suspect, the one who never got caught, was still alive and still searching? Ryan felt a chill crawl down his spine. Ryan checked his phone. One missed call. Unknown number. No voicemail. He swallowed hard. It meant nothing. Probably spam. He tried to calm down. But then his phone buzzed again. Another call. Same number. He didn't answer. A text message arrived seconds later. Did you buy unit number 47? Ryan's heart stopped. He stared at the screen. Another message came. We need to talk. Now. Ryan threw the phone onto the couch. His breathing grew rapid. Someone knew. Someone was watching. Someone wanted that suitcase. At 10:41 p.m., Ryan heard footsteps outside his apartment door. Slow, heavy. They stopped right in front. Then, knock, knock, knock. Ryan froze. He didn't move. He didn't breathe. A deep voice spoke. Ryan, I know you're home. Ryan felt every muscle in his body tense. The voice continued. Open the door. We need to talk about the suitcase. Ryan backed away slowly. Another knock. More forceful. You don't know what you're holding, the voice said. And you don't want it. Ryan didn't answer. After a minute of silence, the footsteps faded. He waited, then checked the peephole. Empty hallway, but taped to his door was a note. His stomach twisted as he read it. You have something that belongs to me. Return it tomorrow. If you don't, I'll come back. Ryan stumbled backward, fear ripping through him. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't coincidence. This was real danger. Ryan sat on the floor with the suitcase. His mind raced. He had three options. 1, keep the money. Risk everything. Risk his life. 2, return the money. To a criminal? Dangerous. Unpredictable. 3, go to the police. But the money came from a robbery. He could get blamed. He had no proof he didn't steal it. Every choice was bad. But doing nothing was even worse. He grabbed his keys. He had to leave the apartment, stay somewhere safe, think clearly. As he picked up the suitcase, he felt something loose in the lining. He unzipped a small hidden pocket. Inside was a folded sheet of paper. His hands shook as he opened it. It was a letter, handwritten, by Arthur Lamont. It read, "If someone finds this money, listen carefully. It is not what you think. It is not all of it. And it does not belong to the man who will come looking. If he is alive, run. Do not trust him. Do not give him anything. Take this money and go to the only person who can help you. Her name is Emily Ross. She lives at 227 Lawson Street. Tell her Arthur sent you. If she is still alive, she will know what to do." Ryan's blood ran cold. A name, a warning, a destination. This wasn't random. Arthur knew the danger. Arthur predicted it. And now Ryan was caught, in the middle of a decades-old crime that hadn't ended. He folded the letter and zipped the suitcase shut. He whispered to himself, "I'm not giving this to anyone until I know the truth." He stepped out of the apartment and walked into the night, toward Lawson Street, toward answers, toward danger. Ryan arrived at 227 Lawson Street, just after midnight. It was a small old house, with the lights still on. He hesitated, then knocked. After a moment, the door opened a crack. An older woman peeked out. "Who are you?" she asked cautiously. Ryan held up the letter. "My name is Ryan Mercer. I bought a storage unit today, and I found something that belonged to Arthur Lamont." The woman's eyes widened. "Arthur? You found Arthur's things?" Ryan nodded slowly. She opened the door fully. "Come in, quick." Inside, the house was warm, filled with old photographs and books. Emily led him to the living room. "Start from the beginning," she said. Ryan explained everything. The suitcase, the money, the note, the man who came to his door, the warning letter. Emily listened without interrupting. When he finished, she sighed deeply. "Ryan, you're in danger." "I know," he whispered. Emily continued, "Arthur wasn't a criminal. He got trapped between two men who robbed that casino transport." Ryan frowned. "Two men?" Emily nodded. Arthur's childhood friend, Marcus Hale, was the real mastermind. A violent man, cunning, unpredictable. Ryan froze. "Marcus disappeared," Emily said. "He ran with the money and hid part of it. Arthur was blamed, interrogated, then released due to insufficient evidence. But Marcus kept watching him." Ryan's heartbeat quickened. "Why hide the money in a storage unit?" he asked. "Because Marcus threatened him," Emily said. "Arthur hid $150,000 to protect himself, and he hid the other $100,000 separately, in case Marcus ever came back." Ryan blinked. "There's more money?" Emily nodded solemnly. "And Marcus knows it. That's why he's after you." Ryan felt a chill. "Is he dangerous?" Emily leaned in. "Ryan, this man killed two people, over far less money than what you found." A sudden noise made them both turn their heads. A car door slammed outside. Emily's face drained of color. She whispered, "He found you." Ryan's blood turned cold. Heavy footsteps approached the house. Emily stood up quickly. "Follow me," she said urgently. She led Ryan through the kitchen and into a narrow hallway toward a hidden back door. Just as they reached it, bang, 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 someone pounded on the front door. A voice growled, "Ryan, I know you're in there." Emily grabbed his arm. "Go, now." Ryan pushed the back door open and slipped into the night. Emily stayed behind. Ryan ran through the alleyway, heart hammering in his chest. Behind him, the pounding grew louder. The man had entered the house. Emily screamed, "He's gone. Leave." Then silence. Ryan didn't look back. Ryan escaped into an abandoned industrial lot, 2 blocks away. He hid behind a concrete barrier and caught his breath. His hands shook violently. He opened the letter again. Arthur's handwriting stared back at him. It is not all of it. Emily mentioned the missing $100,000. Maybe Arthur hid it somewhere else. Somewhere Marcus couldn't find it. He opened the suitcase again, searching for more clues. In the lining, he found a torn corner of a photograph. It showed a teenage Arthur, standing in front of a fishing cabin. On the back was written, "Cabin 14, where everything began." Ryan realized Arthur hid the second stash there. He zipped the suitcase shut and stood up. He had one goal now: get to Cabin 14 before Marcus did. Cabin 14 was an hour drive away, near an old lake community. Ryan drove with shaking hands, constantly checking his mirrors. Halfway there, headlights appeared behind him, bright, aggressive. Ryan's pulse spiked. Marcus. The car swerved closer. Ryan accelerated. The other car matched him. He reached a sharp turn on the forest road and slammed the brakes. Marcus' car skidded past him and crashed into a ditch. Smoke rose. Ryan didn't wait. He drove straight toward the cabins. Cabin 14 was abandoned, half-rotten, surrounded by silence. Ryan entered through a broken door. Inside, it smelled of dust and old wood. He searched everywhere, under the bed, inside drawers, behind loose boards. Nothing. Then he noticed a trapdoor, beneath an old rug. He lifted it. A small wooden box sat inside. He opened it. Another suitcase, smaller. He unlatched it. Inside was $100,000 in cash, a sealed envelope, and a photograph of Arthur and Emily together. Ryan opened the envelope. It was Arthur's final letter. The letter read, "If you are reading this, then I failed to stop Marcus. Please listen carefully. This second stash is not for him. It is not for me. It is for someone honest enough to protect it. Give this money to Emily. She lost everything because of Marcus. Her savings, her home, her peace. She deserves justice, even if I never get mine. Thank you, whoever you are. Thank you." Ryan lowered the letter, tears in his eyes. He knew exactly what he had to do. As Ryan left Cabin 14, Marcus limped out of the trees. His clothes were torn, blood on his forehead, eyes full of rage. "Give it to me," he growled. Ryan shook his head. "No." Marcus pulled a knife. Ryan backed away slowly. "I'm not giving you anything." Marcus lunged, but before he reached Ryan, sirens exploded through the forest. Police vehicles surrounded them. Lights flashed. Voices shouted. Officers tackled Marcus to the ground. Emily stepped out of one of the cars. She had called the police. The moment Ryan ran from her house, Marcus screamed as he was dragged away. "It's mine. All of it is mine." But it was over. Finally over. Ryan returned both suitcases to Emily. $150,000. $100,000 equals $250,000. The full stolen amount from the casino robbery. Emily cried as she held Arthur's letters. Arthur always wanted someone honest. "To end this," she whispered. She insisted Ryan take a reward. "Arthur wrote that the money goes to someone honest," she said. "That's you." She handed him an envelope. Inside was a certified check for $75,000. Ryan's breath caught. I can't take this." "You can," Emily said softly. "And you should. Arthur would have wanted it." Ryan used the money wisely, paid off his debts, moved to a safer place, started saving, took classes to improve his career. But more importantly, he learned something deeper. Sometimes the treasure you find isn't money, it's the chance to do the right thing when no one expects you to. Arthur trusted the future more than he trusted himself, and Ryan proved him right.